Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have another Tea Talk topic for you guys. The purpose of these videos are to just help you navigate through the interest and intake process for those of you that are interested in joining an organization. Like I said in all of my videos, these videos are not meant to guarantee membership, but just to kind of help you get your gears turning and have a better understanding of what the intake process is for those of you who just don't know where to start or what to do. If you guys ever need further assistance with the intake process as far as like interviewing skills or resume reviews, please check out my website at KelsTells.com/services, where we offer some of those things as well as a clarity call. For today's video, we're going to be talking about interview common questions and answers, not necessarily giving you guys the questions or the answers, but like I said, giving you some topics and some things to think about to get your gears turning for when you're entering that interview process, so you can kind of have a better idea of what to expect. If you're not subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button before you continue. Hit the like button if you like this video, and make sure you turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss any new videos from me. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So like I said, these questions that you get in an interview are not the exact questions that you would receive when you're joining an organization, but ways that I want you guys to be thinking of how you're going to interact or how this interview may possibly go. One thing that I want you guys to take note of as well is when you're joining an organization, and I've said this in my previous videos, is very similar to when you are applying to join a job or a company. So treat your interview that way. It's important to already have some things preliminarily prepared. Like, you should know about the organization that you want to join, right? You should know about its leadership. You should know about the people that are already there. You should kind of already have some relationships built if you haven't done so already. Check out my videos on these topics as well. But kind of coming in, doing your research is the common thing that I always express to you guys. So know what you're walking into. Think of what your pitch might be. And in a pitch, I'm not saying a rehearsed speech, but if you guys ever heard of an elevator speech in terms of like a 2 to 3 minute spiel about yourself, that would be very helpful to have, just so the people in the room can just know a little more about you. You may or may not be asked this question, but it's always good to have it in your pocket. Another question that I think is really common that you should already know the answer to is, what skills do you have to bring to the table? I think that this is a very important question, because why essentially are you there? What do you bring to the organization, or what do you bring to the chapter that you want to join? If you know what area they need help in, you should already have an idea of what skills you have to add to the table. In addition to that, why are you joining the organization in the first place? This is one of my most common questions that I feel like people do not really readily know the answer to when they want to join an organization, because there's so many ways. If community service is your thing, at least, there's so many ways that you can be a part of your community. Why specifically do you want to join an organization, a D9 organization, and what do you have to bring to the table? What do you have to bring to that experience already? You should be able to answer those 3 questions at the very least. Other questions that I think are really important and that you should kind of already know the answer to is, what leadership skills do you have? It's very important to be a leader. If you haven't had any leadership experience, it is good to get some of that under your belt before you express interest in joining an organization, because that's something that is going to be required eventually in life when you're in the organization. Not everyone's just a member and they stay a member forever. Like, the point is to kind of grow into that leadership role. So having some leadership skills under your belt is also equally important. In addition to that, what have you done for your community so far? We've talked about community service and having those skills readily available to explain to people that you're interested in joining the chapter with. In addition to that, it's also important to know what your strengths and weaknesses are. What are some things that you can contribute to? What are some things that you know that you need help building on, that you believe this particular organization can help you do? So knowing these things, I think, is really important. When you're answering these questions, it's very important to be your most genuine self. I've explained this before. We do not want cookie cutter people. We do not want people who necessarily fit the mold, and you can tell that they're trying to fit the mold. Be your authentic, genuine self, because it's going to come out later. True colors always show at the end of the day, so make sure you're always being yourself. Secondly, make sure that you're giving clear responses to the questions, and you also want to make sure that you're providing examples when you're in your interview. So if you are explaining your leadership skills, provide an example of that, of how you're able to be a leader in your particular organization or club or group that you're a part of right now. Lastly, you want to always be enthusiastic and willing, and I'm not talking about pushing it to the limit of like being super enthusiastic. Like, be yourself, but let me be able to see your interest as you're interviewing, so that I know you're serious about joining the organization, you're serious about being a member. At the end of the day, joining an organization is not for everyone. It is for those that are really committed and know that they want to do it for the rest of their lives. Look at me, I've been doing this for over a decade. So my final thought is, joining an organization can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be, as long as you're doing your research and you know your reasons why. The interview is just one of many steps in the process, but it is the one that is probably going to be your only opportunity to, aside from the application itself and your resume, is the only opportunity where you can actually speak on who you are and what you have to contribute to the organization. So make sure you have answers to the questions that they ask you. Have fun, be authentic, be genuine, and ask questions at the end of the day. If there's something that you don't understand, or if there's something that you need clarity on, that is probably your one and only opportunity where you can have an open dialogue with the members, or the chapter members and membership, where you can get those questions answered. Now, if you're unsure of what type of questions you should be asking, make sure you check out my videos on these topics. I do have plenty in my FAQ playlist, so make sure you take a look at that. As always, if you have any specific questions, you can always direct message me. You can book a clarity call on my website. But I hope that you guys found this information helpful. Those of you who have experienced the interview and have positive commentary to provide, please put it down in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.